Hello and welcome to another episode of Vinyl Resting Place Podcast. I'm Dapo Agiri.
I'm Barney Howe.
Oh god, that sounds good, doesn't it?
Oh, back. Look at
He's
this guy.
back, baby. He's back, baby.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a throwback. It's a throwback.
episode.
Yeah. Look where the cat dragged it.
I've been dragged. Yeah, like shit.
You feel like shit.
I feel rough, man. It's nothing like
like a run.
losing 700 calories on a hangover.
Oh god. Oh.
I'm a runner now, everyone.
He's a runner now. He's a runner. He's a
Quit to
track.
just run around.
After breaking your leg multiple times in multiple places, he's back to full fitness. And he's back on the podcast.
I am. Yes, happy to be
Hello.
back. Thank you for having me.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming back.
Well, we never wanted to leave this unfinished. We said it during my abdication speech. We would like to.
Is that what it's now known as? Abdication.
It was an abdication.
Nice. Like
yeah. And that we wanted to finish this top 100 albums that
Yeah.
Apple has got so desperately wrong so far.
I know. The thing is, I'm so excited to do the top 50 because that's like where all the great albums are. And I kind of went through them and I was like, like, they are good albums and there are a lot of good albums there, but like top 50 of all time is a massive claim.
It is massive.
It is a massive claim.
It's crazy.
I think we're just going to jump into them and start running through some of them. If you remember when we did these episodes, we kind of ran through them one by one, stopped on ones that kind of took our fancy, and we had some interesting topics to talk about.
It was very interesting.
And then we went back and slated the ones that we didn't like or thought were too low. So let's start with number 49. That's where we are. We left on Hounds of Love, Kate Bush, 50, which I think is a good spot for her, and we questioned whether she was riding off the success of Stranger Things, just belittling her whole career.
There's definitely, I think this whole list reeks of recency bias.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
To start with number 49, there is the Joshua Tree from U2, and immediately, straight off the bat, in the top 50, that is too high.
Really?
That's too high. It's a
U2,
good album.
Dapo?
I know it's U2. I know it's
You love
U2.
U2.
I don't want to go that far.
You always talk about U2.
You're always talking about U2. I feel as though when I go for it like song by song, I think they're actually a little bit overrated. Like, it's got some great songs on it. I think In God's Country is beautiful. Bullet the Blue Sky, great song.
The opening 3 as well, where the Streets Have No Name, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and With or Without You. That's a mighty trio to open an album.
Right,
and then But Out of the Blue Sky.
Right, okay, so here's my thing. I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For is a good song, but like, it's like sucked up in karaoke hype. Do you know what I mean? And potentially the same with or Without You. Like, they're crowd pleasers. They are...
But hang on. I agree with you.
Okay, right, okay.
But why are we punishing the song for being so well loved?
I'm not punishing it for being well loved. I'm just saying that it might just not be that great. Like, it's I'll sing along with it.
Okay.
It's like the
Like a Sweet Caroline kind of?
Exactly. Sweet Caroline. What I was thinking was Aerosmith. Don't want to close my eyes. That's a really great, like, crowd pleasing song. Would I then, off the back of that, say that it's like a top 100 song of all time? No.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Do you see that?
Yeah,
That's
I do
where
get your point. Sorry.
So it's not necessarily like, these are shit, terrible songs. I hate them. It's just like, yeah, they're nice, but I'm not going back to listen to Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For over and over and over again. Maybe some people are.
I have to.
No.
Occasionally, I'll put not this whole album, but if when I remember the existence of I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, that particular song, funnily enough, that you mentioned it, I do put it on. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking banger for me.
Okay, I respect it. But then the whole album as itself is not like a standout.
Yeah,
it kind of trails.
Yeah, I'm not hugely into U2.
No, neither.
I think I respect them. I understand that I should respect them.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about them.
Yeah. 48 is the Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique. This is another one I think is too high.
Yeah, I don't know this album.
Do you know what? It's actually it's pretty banging. It's like this. The Beastie Boys is so like white boy hip hop, but it works and it makes it like it's fun and it's like listenable. But I was looking through it, and they were saying there's some of the reviews of the like retrospective reviews of it are all saying it's like a 5 out of 5 star album, 10 out of 10, and it's just not. Like, the Beastie Boys are like, for me anyway, they're quirky and fun and like it's like, but they're not insanely talented musicians.
No, yeah, they're novel. I think,
no, and I don't think when the album came out, because I think it was '89. When the album came out, it wasn't even like super well received. But then like '90s hip hop blew up, and then the Beastie Boys kind of were that accessible side of that.
Okay.
And then that's my take on the situation anyway.
That's probably actually depressingly accurate. Yeah.
Is where we are. If I'm wrong, people can let me know. 47, Take Care by Drake. I'm going to come back to this one because I've got some thoughts on Take Care by Drake.
Nice. I have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I bet you do. 46, Exodus, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
I'm happy about that.
I'm happy about that. I think, though, for the album, kind of Three Little Birds and One Lover doing a little bit of heavy lifting.
Jammin's pulling some weight.
Jammin's pulling some weight. That's true. Jammin's pulling actually a lot of weight. But like,
you're right. That's 3 out of 10.
Yeah, this is as an album. That's where I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's what I would pull. But then I'm not sure if I could name a Bob Marley and the Wailers album apart from Exodus, like off the top of my head.
I think it's something we talked about over the last 2 episodes we did of this, where there are some names on this list where it's like, oh, you got to have Bob Marley in the top 100.
Yeah,
albums,
exactly. Yeah,
even if he doesn't have one album that's like that's non-stop.
Yeah, I think that's 100% the case that's happened there, and I think 46 is about right.
It's respectable.
Yeah, respectable.
Good for you, Bob Marley.
I don't know 45. Homogenic by Bjork.
Don't know much about Bjork.
No, I don't know.
She was in the film The North for like 2 minutes.
I haven't heard the album, but I know that it's like cult following with Bjork, so I won't comment too much. Inner Visions, Stevie Wonder, which is always an interesting name to me. Are we allowed
Just a little bit wink nudge him, isn't it?
Well, I feel like it plays into the conspiracy that he's not actually blind. You know?
Well, yeah, because he would have called it outer vision.
There's just so many clips of him like smiling for pictures.
He could smile.
Yeah, but like, it's like, how do you know the camera's there? Or like going for high fives.
He goes for high fives.
Yeah, there's
Stevie, that's dodgy.
I mean, it's Inner Visions, and this is another one.
Such a good fucking conspiracy.
It's such a great conspiracy because it's actually harming no one.
Yeah,
it's doing no damage to anyone whatsoever. And I would love it if one day he just like took the sunnies off. Like, fuck it.
We're fucking talking about like scandals at work recently, like inventing political scandals that could like shut down someone's career.
Yeah.
And the best one I came up with was like, what if there was a wheelchair politician who was like physically disabled, and then at one point they were just like videoed standing up after like, being prime minister for like 8 years, and then suddenly they could walk the whole time.
That would be.
Can you imagine the news?
That would be insane.
Yeah.
The thing is, I could imagine that in America. Like it feels like that could happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too dissimilar from the reality that we find ourselves in.
Also, isn't the Stevie Wonder album with his like biggest hits on it?
That will be coming up.
Okay.
And this is another one that I think the singles are doing like heavy lifting. Don't You Worry About a Thing is doing a lot of heavy lifting with this album.
I don't think they should be in here.
Do you really? I mean, again, Vision's funny, but he's just taking the piss out of us. Like, he's laughing at us. Visions is a nice song. Golden Lady's a nice song, but it really is Don't You Worry About a Thing, and then everything else kind of pales in significance. So I would agree that probably not a strong shout. 44 is very high.
Yeah, I think it's really high, and if there's more Stevie to potentially come, it's absolutely too high.
Yeah, definitely, because you're already covering him.
Ooh.
And I think 43 I think is also the wrong album.
Yeah, agreed.
What would you say? So this is Remain in Light, Talking Heads, Speaking in Tongues.
Yes.
Speaking in Tongues is exactly what I think it should be. I'm actually listening to it because we might have an episode on it coming up soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink. and it's fucking incredible. And and Remain in Light isn't as good.
No, it isn't.
It isn't as good, so it shouldn't be there.
Sorry,
Talking Heads.
Sorry.
Apple made the wrong choice.
42.
Control Janet Jackson, for me, is like a mid-album. I feel like it's just not our time.
Yeah.
Like, people ride for Janet Jackson. I've just never really personally seen the hype.
No.
This album's got Nasty on it, which is like a bit of a bop. But apart from that, like, 42 is very high.
I agree.
Outcast.
Yep. Why are they here?
Oh, wow. Well, all right. So, update. Update to the vinyl resting place world. I saw Andre 3000.
Oh yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, and he did not a single Outcast song.
Go on, Andre.
And people were leaving in their droves.
Oh
we
my
out here.
God.
Like, it was Sunday, 3:00. Everyone's a little bit like dazed, up for some chill music. Do you know what would have been lovely? Like a little Miss Jackson or something like that.
Mm.
He was just playing the flute and it was shocking. And we sat through the whole thing because VRP and friend of the podcast, Hannah, went to get food.
Oh, so selfish.
Was stuck in a queue. And then we were like just looking around being like, can we go? Can we leave her? Because we don't want to. Like, it was the single worst moment of the festival, and it rained one day.
Oh my God.
It was
Andre 3000.
It was so bad. It was
The
so
Improv Fruit
bad.
album.
The Improv Fruit album can absolutely do it. And he did this thing, right? I'm not sure if I told you, where he was chatting in like some foreign made up language, and he was
a made up language.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he was like, "Oh, this means that love and peace to all mankind," or something. And everyone was like, "Woo, woo, woo." And he was like, "I don't know what that shit means. I just made that up." And then he just carried on playing his fucking flute. And I was like, "He's mocking you. He's mocking you to your fucking faces, and you're paying money to be here." So he has dropped a little bit in my estimation.
I don't think you like Andre 2000 anymore.
I don't like Andre 3000 anymore. And I don't think Aquemini is the right album to be here. I think it's a very highlight album. When you think of all the big Outcast bangers, absolutely none of them are on this album.
I also just feel like maybe I don't know them as well as you do. I don't think they did enough or are good enough to be here, in my opinion. I'm coming from only the hit side.
Yeah.
Of things. The more I talk, the less I agree.
I can hear what you're saying, and I think there are artists coming up that I would potentially say similar things for. I think like this is a very hip hop heavy album. Excuse me. This is a very hip hop heavy list, especially as we get to the top end.
Yes.
And like, I feel as though that they have squeezed a lot of hip hop albums from that like 90s era to make it look like they're paying homage to the
old boys,
to the greats. Like this is
Andre 2000s of the game.
Yeah, and 41 is high.
41 is high in my opinion.
Not for me.
Sorry, Andre.
Stop playing the flute, big boy. And then Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. Ooh, 40
Aretha could be higher.
It could be higher. I think it's a beautiful album.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a beautiful album. The titular track is stunning. And then I think she's got a cover of Sam Cooke song. What's the Sam Cooke song?
Love the Way You Lie.
Change is coming.
That's right.
Change is Love the Way You Lie. Eminem and Rihanna.
Yeah, it's Sam Cooke. You wrote it.
I was just gonna be like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, good one.
A Change is gonna come, which is beautiful, and that's one of my favorite songs, like ever in general. It's not as good as the Lauryn Hill version of it, just slightly off, but still beautiful.
I just feel like in terms of I didn't ever do an episode where we talked about like a GOAT female vocalist of all time.
No,
but Aretha would potentially be my call for that.
Yeah,
I think she is.
Yeah,
if we're looking at actual just singers'
ability to sing.
Yeah,
she's
the creme de la creme, and I'm really happy she's in here. Could be higher.
Could be higher for sure. 39 Illmatic Nas, I think personally could be higher. If I was making the list, this would be in my like top 15. I would say, yeah.
I don't think I know this album at all.
Nas's debut album, 1994. He must have been like 16, 17 when he wrote it.
Damn.
And it's a no skip album for me. New York State of Mind, Life's a Bitch, The World Is Yours.
Oh, I know New York State of Mind.
It Ain't Hard to Tell. Like it's 40 minutes of like quintessential hip hop like history. And I went to, this was maybe, I was like 15, 16, and I went to the 20th anniversary show for this. Yeah, so it must have been like 2014.
Damn.
And it was unbelievable. And he was old by that point in time. And I don't think he's ever made an album as good as this. And I think he might say that himself. Maybe he won't. Artists tend to like believe in their art as they progress, but like
this is worse than my
it's insane. Like it's a no skip album. But I understand, like, I think Nas doesn't get the same hype sometimes in wider circles as like a Wu-Tang Clan or like a Jay-Z or like but for me that album is top tier. 38, Tapestry, Carole King. Go listen to our episode on Carole King's Tapestry.
Yeah,
it was a really good episode.
It was with Caitlin Doyle.
And it was a really, really good album as well. I think it's her best. I think it is something that I listen to for like comfort now. It's like
absolutely.
As we're getting into autumn,
I'm just gonna say the same thing. Yeah. Very
autumnal album. Like Little Candle, Hot Chocolate, In My Hoodie. Yeah, talk to me. I think 38 might be the right space.
I was gonna say slightly low. To me, this is like mid-20s plus. I put this in the top 25.
Okay, fair. It's not
at the top of 25.
Yeah, no, I would accept that, and I don't think I hate that at all. Because I don't think there's a song I dislike on the album. So
it's just the aspect of like her doing all the shit as well, which is the case for a lot of these.
But
like just knowing that she did the piano, did the fucking singing, and did so much other artists. It's really nice that she's getting her flowers on this list.
100%.
And Tapestry is, I think for me, and no skips.
Yeah. And then right next to Tapestry by Carole King.
Very smoothly.
Yeah, what a sandwich. Illmatic by Nas, Tapestry, Carole King, and then Enter the Wu-Tang by Wu-Tang Clan. That's obviously how those...
It's spicy, yeah.
That's basically my playlist. That's how I start my weekends. 37, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. I think this is one where there is I don't listen to this album much or at all now, just because it's not the most like easy of listens to listen to, and it's all very like bitty because there's so many different components and different like rappers.
A lot of voices,
a lot of voices, exactly that. And I think it's one that is in there on its historical merit. Not to say that I think it's bad, but like I understand why it is in there because of like the significance it has and like how it launched the sort of the not just Wu-Tang Clan but like some of that New York hip hop scene in general.
Absolutely.
And like the process behind it, all of them getting together in like some dirty basement and just getting it all done. Like it
is cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and don't get me wrong, like it's fucking sick. ODB is one of my favorite American rappers, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not proud of it because of what, but I think in terms of like flow and like the way he picked his pockets, I was like, yeah. And I kind of like the childish, like silly, kind of gross.
Yeah,
it kind of appeals to me. Like when I picked up like rap music or American rap music, like I was into the Odd Futures and that early Tyler the Creator. I'm into Earl Sweatshirt. Like those sort of things do, for whatever reason, like scratch and itch for me. Like I do enjoy that.
I agree. I've fallen recently into a very weird niche of music where there's loads of like long videos on YouTube where it's just like Wu-Tang Clan x the Beatles.
Okay.
And it's like this. Then about like the same guy. I forget the channel's name, but he like remixes the Beatles tracks like "You Never Give Me Your Money," and then like the Wu-Tang Clan guys are rapping over the top, and it's so good.
I'm kind of here for it. I can see it working.
It's awesome.
I
There's
can
like
see it
Pink
working.
Floyd ones
You
as
need
well.
to
It's
send
great.
that my way. That's the sort of shit I could get behind.
It's like if I like working to like 90s like hip hop rap.
Yeah.
Because like the like cyclicality of the beats I find very like
calming. Lo-fi hip hop beats to
lo-fi,
room to
lo-fi.
work.
I'm that girl at her desk. So I put that on like all the time. I listen to that album. I would say this made up YouTube video, like at least once every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely.
Interesting. I'm keen to hear it. I want to see what it's like.
It slaps.
It slaps. You don't need to hear it. It's
really
unreal.
good, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I will send it away because it is. I think you would. It could confirm you on the Beatles. You know, you could come around.
It could be. It could do.
If you know John Lennon had done more rap.
Yeah. If Redman and John Lennon were just in the same flat with each other. 36, Beyonce by Beyonce. I don't think it's her best album, therefore don't think it should be on this list.
Yeah, I think it should be Lemonade, personally. But we've talked about this before.
Lemonade's on there.
Oh, yeah. I fuck that.
Lemonade's on there.
This is the right album.
I don't know, because I don't think this is better than 4, and I don't think this is better than Sasha Fierce. We've been
We Beyonce.
Go and watch our Beyonce vinyl countdown.
Go and watch that for an hour and then come back.
Yeah,
here.
come back here. Just give us some hate because that's all I got.
Yeah, we got a lot. No one was happy with any of our takes.
No one was happy with any of our takes, and I still think we're largely correct.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what we did.
But yeah, Beyonce self-titled at 36 seems very high.
It does feel very
especially high. Next to what it's like next to you. You've got Wu-Tang Clan, and then you've got after it at 35, London Calling by The Clash. It's not comparable there.
No.
Not at all. This is not my sort of music, and I know London Calling is an amazing album. So
it is good. It's nice to have some proper British punk in this. Like, it is not the biggest genre.
No.
And it definitely had its moment, but I think The Clash were the best of the best.
Yeah, 100%.
It's great they're in here.
And I think that, I don't know, I think you can see elements of that sort of original punk in a lot of forms of anti-establishment music.
Absolutely,
today.
yeah. There's so much crossover that people don't really talk about.
Yeah, I think impact-wise as well, that gives it a big boost in my eyes.
Thumbs up. I would have liked to have seen maybe Strawberries by The Damned, I think, is the only other punk album that could have made it, but I think London Calling probably does take the cake, and I think it is nicely placed here.
Yeah, fairs. 34, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Speaking of anti-establishment music, Public Enemy.
Great.
I don't think this album should be on it. I don't think this album should be on here. I think Public Enemy are, when I was talking about outcasts and people that are being squeezed in because of their influence rather than like quality of music, I was talking about Public Enemy. Like, this is
Fuck you, Public Enemy.
I rate it. So Public Enemy,
That was calling you out.
You know Flavor Flav?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was...
I mean, tangentially.
Yeah. I call him Flav.
Yeah.
So he has a TV show called The Flavor of Love.
Okay.
And it's a dating show a la The Bachelorette.
Why does he have that?
Because he's Flavor Flav. I think it was like he was quite big in like MTV reality TV days.
Okay.
So he would do a lot of bits and bobs with them, and then like he had his own sort of like cult following. There are 3 series of this dating show, but he was the Bachelor every single time.
Oh, that's so gross.
He'd be giving these, instead of roses, he'd give them all a clock to wear around their neck.
That's disgraceful.
Oh, it's so bad.
I don't want him in there.
But I think in a similar way to Outkast with this album, this isn't the one that has all their hits. And I don't look at Public Enemy as like an album group. Like,
okay.
They've got Fight the Power. They've got a few other tunes that are like very recognizable just by like the first few beats, but actually as an album, like it's all very same level. It's all very pushback against it, and it doesn't really do it for me personally.
Fair.
Number 33, Kid A, Radiohead.
Yeah, I'm happy Radiohead are in here. I'm not sure for me this is the best album. It is fantastic. It might be critically seen as their best album actually, but there's other ones like The Bends, fucking Rainbows, even Moonshaped Pool. I think
I would have gone Rainbows. I think it's critical acclaim and things like that. But like personally, I don't love Kid A. I don't think it's like this amazing album that blows me away. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. For me personally, it is. I do think it is brilliant. But yeah, I don't think it's for everyone's taste, and I don't think it's maybe for that reason. That's why we wanted maybe everyone for Rainbows. Like it's just more
palatable.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. What a weird game of charades.
Yeah, we did a good job. You knew I meant.
Number 32, Ready to Die, the Notorious B.I.G.
Woo!
This is difficult for me because I never know where, like, is it the fact that like he died? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you've got Juicy, you've got Big Papa, you've got Respect, you've got Machine Gun Funk, you've got Things Done Changed, you've got Give Me the Loot. But is it really one of the best albums of all time, or did he die?
I don't know. I actually, for once, when I think LA hip hop albums, I think Ready to Die by Biggie.
Yeah. I love it. I know I do. Maybe I'm just being fucking facetious.
I don't know. I don't think you are being facetious. I think it's such a subjective thing.
Yeah.
And I think probably there is like, what could have been?
Yeah.
But I do think this fucks so hard.
It fucks so hard. It does fuck so hard. And I think the peaks of the album are really, really fucking high.
They peak.
Like they do. Big Papa is a crazy.
Big Papa's one of the. Oh my god.
No. I'm being fucking stupid.
I don't think you are.
I know I am because 32 is arguably low. 32 is arguably low.
It is maybe a little bit low. But there is a lot of it's really good.
It is really good. I think it's one of those things. It's the same with Tupac as well. Like legacy and nostalgia has played a part in it, but then the only reason they have the legacy and the nostalgia is because of like the absolute pandemonium they caused.
Yeah.
By when they were alive. And like we're talking about fitting in 90s hip hop artists. There are going to be some that come above this album, and you're like, "Ooh, is this like?" Yeah. Well, it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's 31 is not 32 is not a bad place to be.
No,
and it is a fucking good album.
It's so good.
Number 31, and definitely not better than Ready to Die by the Notorious B.I.G. is Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette.
You saying that to me?
I'm saying that with my chest.
Alanis Morissette, she's great.
It's not better than Biggie.
Well, hang on, let's click. Can we have a look at the album list?
Yeah, we can go because I think it's a good album. I think it's she's a very talented lady.
She's a nice woman. Yeah, Biggie's better.
Yeah, it's just not. It just isn't better than. But then
I think it's very good. I might even put Carole King Tapestry above this actually.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with that.
The two ladies.
Yeah, I would. I think that's the way to go. So drag Alanis all the way down.
Bad luck, Alanis.
To 38.
Should have made a better album.
Should have. Woulda, coulda. Speaking of making better albums.
Ooh, nice.
I think Billie Eilish has made a better album than When We All Fall Asleep. Where Do We Go?
Here's the thing. I think Billie has made more likable albums, but I think in terms of albums that were musically interesting, this is her most bold project. The kind of grunge pop, emo pop vibe was at the time not, what we had was fucking like Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Which is dark as pop got.
She rode a skateboard.
But this is like,
Yeah, I know.
It's really good. I think the composition is fantastic. Phineas's work on this is just as good, if not better, than Billy's vocals, in my opinion.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I think it's as much his work, and I think they definitely gave a nod to it with a lot of the promo and awards runs. Like it was very much the pair of them, rather than just Billy.
It's not my favorite Billy album, but I think it might be the however that word works, best album. I think it's correctly placed, and even though I don't listen to it anywhere near as much as I do Happier Than Ever or now the third album, which name
Hit Me Hard and Soft.
Hit Me Hard and Soft.
I think Hit Me Hard and Soft is the best one.
Really?
Yeah, it's the one that I actually listen to. Like
Birds of a feather.
I'm actually a Chihiro man.
Really?
I think I've said this already on the pod, but I think Chihiro is one of my favourite songs to be released this year.
Ooh, Chihiro.
Yeah. I think Chihiro is stunning. We're going to do a best songs released this year.
Hell yeah.
People go through, and this will be on my list somewhere.
Chihiro.
It is a good album, and I think the impact and how like groundbreaking it was.
It was brave.
Yeah, it was brave.
It was brave.
Yeah. It could have been a flop, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I think 29, 28, 27, all are very well placed for me.
Interesting.
29 is a Low End Theory by a Tribe Called Quest. I think this is like, if you are trying to get into hip hop, if you are a casual listener and you don't really like understand or care too much,
You talking about me?
this is the maybe this is the album to get you into it. Like it's as like influential in other people's music as it is unbelievable to listen to. I think Butter's an unreal album. Excuse me. I think Butter's an unreal song. Jazz. Check the rhyme. Start with Check the Rhyme, and then just go on from there. And then I think I had a chat with a guest called Randy B, and he was talking about Midnight Marauders as like one of his favorite albums of all time. And I feel like Low End Theory allowed Midnight Marauders to become a thing. The tunes that are now the big Tribe Called Quest tunes that everybody knows are very much sort of continuations from the bangers on the first album.
Fair.
Yeah, that's it for me. But yeah, and I me, I like jazzy and
you do.
Like
it's a very Dapo album.
It's a very me album. It's a very me album.
Speaking of very us albums.
Yeah, go on, hit me.
28, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
boy. Personally, for me, low.
Would you? Oh, you would have it higher.
This is a top 10 for me.
Really?
Absolutely. It is Pink Floyd's best album, in my opinion. I think it just beats out the wall. It's close, but it's just absolutely stunning. The composition. This is all Roger Waters stuff. The fucking sweeping guitars. It's angelic. Got Great Gig in the Sky. It's one of the most incredible vocalization ever recorded. Great album cover. How iconic is that?
Fairs. An album cover is top 5.
Top 5 album covers of all time.
100%.
I absolutely love that album. For me, it's top 10.
Fairs. And surprisingly for me, Led Zeppelin 2. Yeah. I think it's one of those bands that has to be in there, and it's got a whole lot of love.
Yep.
So it is the best Led Zeppelin album, I think. Heartbreaker on the B side. It's not necessarily something that I'm gonna stick on at a dinner party or like I'm gonna be listening to on my fucking headphones all the time. But I think there is, when you're making a list like this, there is a onus to try and spread your wings wide. And if you're going into this kind of heavier side of rock and you're trying to push for keeping everybody happy,
yes,
this would be the album that I would choose.
I think I agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if it was my album, it's not coming anywhere near my top 50.
Even with our different tastes, I'm not sure it's that high on mine. I think respect to the Zepp as always, especially that Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. But I can't say I ever listened to this, to be honest.
See, I like it. I love it as much as I can like a heavy metal album.
Yeah.
I can I don't know, it appeals to me. It appeals to me. I think it's the vocals of Led Zeppelin that I like. It's a little bit more like, I don't know, melodic. How do you say that word?
Melodic?
A little bit more melodic. A little bit more like bluesy.
That is bluesy.
Yeah,
you're right. That's a very well put thing, actually. Let's go.
I try. So that's why I would have it in there, and then
sexy.
26 is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West.
Kanye.
It's difficult. Can't talk about it. Kanye / the man that the man in the mirror. We've never done a Kanye West album.
We've always threatened that we'll do a
list, and he keeps kind of just making it difficult to talk about him. This might be my top. It might be. It really, really might be his best album. You've got Power.
Power is...
All of the Lights is potentially his best song ever.
Really?
Devil in a New Dress. Runaway.
Monster.
Sorry, Monster. Apologies.
The best feature of all time.
Everybody seems to know the fucking lyrics to Monster. There was a period of time where I think, who was it? Adele did the carpool karaoke of it. Yeah. And then everyone just kept rapping Monster.
The bad bitch that came over Sri Lanka. Adele.
You got the Blame Game with John Lennon. He does great features, by the way. John Lennon. Yeah, he does. John Legend. Ye goes deep, man. Ye goes deep.
He's bringing big people out.
He's
John Lennon is here. I agree. I'm joking around, but I think this is definitely potentially the best Kanye album.
Yeah, and I think if you're talking about like best albums and like trying to take yourself on like an artsy point of view, like this is the one that you would choose over maybe like a Late Registration, which is a little bit more like rooted in like his classic hip hop production. Like this to use the word again, brave. Was this album.
And it was intelligent and thoughtful, and I think it's when he maybe entered the GOAT conversation.
I'd agree. And the people that he fucking worked with, the producers, Q-Tip, RZA, Pete Rock, Madlib, Static Selector, and DJ Premier is just basically everybody who's there. You just need Pharrell on top, and then he's just fine. It's ridiculous. Alongside the fact that he's Kanye West, and it's one of the best producers in hip hop history. So yeah, I think it's a very warranted position at 26 for me.
Nice.
Despite the man, I think he probably does deserve to be in there for one of his albums.
If we're separating art from artists, and you caught me on a good day, I could even put it slightly higher.
Oh yeah, no, I hear that. Number 25, and rounding off this episode, is a difficult one to measure for me. For me, like personally, I think it is one of the best albums of all time.
Yep.
But then it's how do you compare it to The Dark Side of the Moon and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? It is Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, which is a beautiful jazz album, like the jazz trumpet album.
Yeah.
Really,
I'd agree with that.
He got John Coltrane on it, like as a
John Coltrane's on it.
He does like a lot of the saxophone. It's incredible. Yeah, it's
really cool,
and it's a beautiful piece of music, and
it's fantastic.
But like it's 5 songs.
Wonderful.
It's 5 lovely jazz songs, which is great. Freddie Freeloader is iconic.
Yes,
as a piece of music. I just don't know how you're sitting there at Apple and being like, so Kind of Blue goes just after Kanye West. Like, it's a very difficult measuring stick.
And we've talked before about jazz albums, that jazz is maybe uniquely in music one of the most best enjoyed live genres. And jazz albums inherently suffer from not having that kind of playfulness and the difference from show to show.
Yeah, it's very true. I think as well, it's something that can be such an acquired taste.
Yeah.
That like even within circles that would be leaning towards jazz, like jazzier circles, people will turn to different instrumentalists or performers and being like, "Well, that was a bit out there." Like, don't really get what he was trying to do there. It's so experimental, improvisational in its nature, and like going with where the music takes you, a la Andre 3000.
Sometimes it's bad,
but I think this is a beautiful album, and for me as like a jazz person, I think there are very few albums that I would put above this, and as well, it's like the cultural relevance as well. Like this,
it's Miles Davis.
It's Miles Davis.
Yeah.
People who don't necessarily enjoy the genre know of the album, know of the artist. But like, is it my top jazz album? No. Is he? Do I think he's the best trumpeter ever? Potentially not. I'm actually going to see a trumpeter who I think is this Japanese guy called Takuya Toroda.
Okay.
No, Takuya Kuroda. I'm going to see him at like Jazz Cafe or something.
That's
but
sweet.
he does this crazy version of Everybody Loves Sunshine.
Ooh.
And it's like 8 minutes long. And I really don't have the money to be going to more and more gigs. But I was like, I literally am never going to get the chance to see this man live again.
No.
Like, when am I ever going to do it? And he's got an album called Rising Sun, and I think that is my favourite. Like, we were just talking pure jazz album, and it's a bit more like contemporary, and it's kind of risen into it.
I'm gonna listen to him on the way home.
Yeah, no, but super soothing, especially if it's still sunny outside. I think you'd love it.
Nice.
But to round off, it is Kind of Blue by Miles Davis.
I'm not mad about the
I'm
placement.
not mad about the placement. I'm not mad about the placement. I'm just looking at some of the ones to come. We're gonna argue.
We're gonna argue.
I want to talk about Take Care.
You did want to talk
by
about Take
Drake.
Care.
Yeah.
Drake shouldn't be on it.
See, that's
Fuck Drake. He's not good.
I would agree with you, but this album actually does deserve to be on it. I think it's a bit high. It's a bit high but it's like we've covered some like serious albums over the course of the top like 75, right? I probably would have put Drake in like the first 25.
Yeah.
But Take Care is a fucking album. It's an unbelievable fucking album. Oh my god!
Sometimes my dislike of Drake gets in the way of me taking an actual balance.
And this is such this is such a moot point. It doesn't mean anything. But a bonus track created the fucking term YOLO.
That's pretty good.
That is it. Like, it wasn't even
I'm back in.
It's insane. The motto with Lil Wayne, like, that is stupid. The title track Take Care with Rihanna is potentially Drake's best song. Potentially.
Yeah.
Marvin's Room's unbelievable.
Marvin's Room is fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
I think that's my best favorite on the
Headlines is
CD.
on there. Like, it's a really good album. I stand by that. This might be like the last good full album that Drake has made, because he makes singles and he makes like bangers and whatever. But
yeah, as a
standalone like album, piece of work, body of work, it's his best thing. And I like it's weird because I don't respect or ride for Drake like that.
No, you don't. You don't really fuck Drake that heavy, but yeah, I mean, I guess that shows
47 is a lot, but I think
it's high. To be ever like the Rihanna pick for this, and like Prince is down there, The Cure is down there, Drunk Culture,
Erykah Badu, NWA.
NWA should be
Actually, I take it back. 47 is nuts for Take
47
Care.
is nuts, but maybe fair enough that it's in there.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think as well with Drake, you have to speak about it. He had to be in there to an extent.
Yeah.
Are there any that you would, from this list, jump up to the top 25 now you've seen it and now you've got an idea of what's to come as well?
Already talked about Dark Side of the Moon. Mm-hmm. That's definitely a big one for me. Tapestry, I think, could be higher. Mm-hmm. Aretha Franklin, I think, could absolutely be higher than 40. I think she's top 20. Not quite Exodus. Maybe Ready to Die by Biggie, I think, could be higher as well.
Do you know what? After our conversation, I think we actually
top 25.
could put it higher. Like, it's stupid good. It's I can't believe I started this conversation being like, oh, is it because he dies? No, I was just since we spoke about it, Juicy's been in my head since then. Literally since then. Yeah, fairs. No. I would also, we spoke about it, I think I'd move Illmatic up as well.
Yes, which is fair enough. I don't know well enough to comment, to be honest, but I would like to get to know.
I think they're getting better. I think they are getting better.
I would agree.
I think there are some kind of universal, okay, these are great albums that creep into this top 50 now, where it's just like commonplace, common knowledge. And we've got a lot of those to come in the next episode.
We do. There's going to be a lot of controversy in that.
Yeah, we're going to fight in the next
real points between us, I can see in the future.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm already...
Love it, number 18. Let's go.
Number 18, number 18 is fucking stupid. Number 18 is stupid. Number 10's too high.
15's a bit wild, to be honest.
15's so wild.
Yeah.
I think 13's high. I think
13's way high.
I think 11's too low.
Yeah, actually.
I think 11 should be around the 6-7 mark.
I think 6 should be lower.
6 should definitely be lower.
I also...
16 shouldn't be in there.
Oh, no, 16's good.
16 is not a top...
This doesn't make sense when he's watching this.
Scrap it.
This is rubbish.
And on that note...
Talking about numbers.
The list is public.
I love 16.
Careful.
Oh, no. Cancel. Leave the podcast for 3 months again.
On that chaotic note, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Barney, for being back.
It's wonderful to come back. I'd love to come back again.
Oh, we'll see you
Definitely
again.
finish this and then hopefully, another time also.
We'll keep you running along as our premium VRP. Yes. The most VRP you could be.
I get a really lonely booth all by myself. No one to talk to.
Follow Vinyl Western Place on all of our socials at Vinyl Western Place Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. And we'll catch you in a bit. Peace.
Yay!